All right, let's talk about Sudoku. But we're not going to talk about tips and tricks. No, we're going to look at this simple, everyday puzzle as something else entirely. A perfect, self-contained universe of pure logic.
You've probably seen this before, right? It's the Ouroboros, this ancient symbol of a snake eating its own tail. For literally thousands of years, it's been the go-to symbol for a closed loop, a system where the end is just the beginning all over again.
So, what on earth could this mystical serpent have to do with this little 9x9 grid of numbers you do with your morning coffee? Well, the connection is way deeper and honestly more philosophical than you'd ever guess. It's the key to the whole thing.
What we're going to do is map the logic of that serpent directly onto the logic of the grid. Because when you really look at it, a Sudoku isn't just a game. It's a perfect, finite model of the Ouroboros itself.
So let's get this straight. The big idea here is the closed loop. That means a system that doesn't need any outside help. Everything that happens inside of it creates a reaction that just feeds right back into the system, defining its own reality from within.
Okay, so let's take that idea and slap it right onto the puzzle. I want you to stop thinking of the Sudoku grid as a piece of paper and start seeing it as its own tiny universe, with its own unchangeable laws of physics. It's literally a universe in a box.
And check this out. The parallels are kind of perfect. The Ouroboros is self-contained. A Sudoku puzzle needs zero outside help. The serpent's eternal cycle, that's the puzzle's logic loop. The idea that the whole is one is totally mirrored in how every single box in the grid is connected. And of course, both are governed by strict, unbreakable rules.
This is the absolute key. When you pencil in a 5 in one of those cells, you're not just filling a square. You're sending out a shockwave of information, a ripple effect across that number's entire row, its column, and its 3x3 box. And those effects, they bounce right back, changing the possibilities for every other cell. It's a constant, circular flow of logic. Now, an empty Sudoku grid, it exists in the state of almost infinite potential. It's pure chaos. You want to know how much chaos? There are more than 6 sectillion. That's a 6 with 21 zeros after it. Possible ways to fill a grid. This insane number is what we can call the systemic unknown.
But here's where the magic happens. Out of all that sextillion plus chaos, you only need 17. Just 17 starting clues, minimum, to collapse every single one of those possibilities into one single, unique solution. If you have any fewer, the loop breaks. Those 17 numbers, they are the laws that lock this tiny universe into a single destiny.
And this leads to a pretty cool philosophical point. You see, the final solved grid, it isn't something you create. It already exists. It's a predetermined truth. The whole process of solving is really just the act of discovering what was already there from the very beginning.
So how do we actually do that? How do we find that hidden truth? Well, it's not random guessing. The journey of discovery follows this really clear hierarchy, kind of like climbing the steps of a pyramid, starting with the easy stuff at the bottom and working your way up to the really complex thinking at the top.
Down at the base of the pyramid, you have simple perception. Just spotting a cell where only one number can possibly go. Then you climb up a level to pattern finding, where you start seeing these geometric shapes, like a technique called an X-wing, that create these logical locks across the whole grid. And way up at the peak, that's chain logic, where you're following this complex if this, then that ripple all the way across the board.
Okay, let's switch gears for a second. We've talked all about the puzzle, but what about the person solving it? The puzzle might be a perfect closed system, but our brains, well, they're not. We have limits, and the puzzle makes us get creative to get around them.
The process of solving is all about elimination. You're not so much finding the right answer as you are proving what the answer can't be. It's like this great line says, you're sculpting the truth by carving away everything that is false.
And here is that human challenge. Our working memory, it can only juggle about 7 pieces of information at a time. That's it. But a really hard Sudoku, it can have hundreds of potential numbers, or candidates. So what do? We use pencil marks. And this isn't just to help us remember. It's a real technique called cognitive offloading. You're literally moving the data out of your brain and onto the paper so you can free up that mental space to see those deeper patterns, to climb that pyramid.
So all of this, the chaos, the clues, the logic pyramid, the pencil marks, it all brings us full circle right back to our serpent and the puzzle's ultimate goal, that one single unique truth of the solved grid.
Because the act of solving is the snake eating its tail. You, the solver, are the engine that keeps that cycle going. You are literally consuming the chaos of the unknown, all those little pencil marks, to sustain the order of the known, the numbers you place with total certainty.
With every single deduction you make, you're collapsing possibilities into certainty. You're taking a world of what-ifs and turning it into a single is. You are actively wrestling the grid from a state of total chaos toward that one perfect final state, the singular truth.
So the next time you pick up a Sudoku puzzle, just think about this for a second. Are you just killing some time with a numbers game? Or are you taking part in a tiny but kind of profound ritual? The act of taking a chaotic universe and, with nothing but pure logic, guiding it home to its one and only truth.